Hey everyone, Julie here, the host of Moms That Conquer, and we have a special guest.
Hi everyone, it's Kimberly.
Kimberly Rodriguez, also known as Content Kim. Okay guys, so as you know, this is an open platform, right? We are going to discuss how do you say it? Is it entrepreneurship? Or being an entrepreneur? You are an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so you can honestly say it both ways. So I identify myself as an entrepreneur, but what I do is basically entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. Being an entrepreneur, working that role as a full-time position, but then also being a stay-at-home mom with a child under 2 and expecting a baby, another one. So under 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Let's keep it real here. So before we get started in regards to entrepreneurship, all right? I want to highlight the definition of conquer, right? Because everybody has their own definition of what conquer means. But I researched the word conquer and I thought that it has a strong meaning. And that's why I I added that word into the definition of Moms That Conquer.
Okay.
Right? So, to conquer is to defeat someone or something.
Okay.
To overcome and take control.
For sure.
Right? I'll repeat that, right? To conquer is to defeat someone or something, and you can overcome and take control of something, right? As a mother or a human in general,
for sure,
we're conquering so much things in life. But I think as a parent in general, you're conquering being a mother or a father, right? And a job.
For sure.
Bringing in income, stability, structure, everything that comes along with that, right? So I think I know that I value people that are entrepreneur, aside from working a full-time job, right? Because you work a full-time job to work for somebody else.
For sure.
Absolutely. Point blank, period, right? But when you're an entrepreneur, you are taking your mindset and your thoughts and ideas and you're building your own brand and business. So kudos to you and everybody out there that are working their way to become an entrepreneur. Comment below if you are working that way. Kimberly will make sure she gives you guys tips and suggestions on how you can strive and make it to the top. That's not knocking anyone that works a full-time job, right? Because I work a full-time job and there's no way in that I will be an entrepreneur. It's just not my thing. So you have to have confidence and ideas in order to be an entrepreneur. And sometimes it don't work out for people. That's okay. It is what it is, right?
No, I completely agree. And I feel like what people need to understand and the difference between working that 9 to 5 versus being an entrepreneur, like a 9 to 5 is literally just that.
Right.
It's 9 to 5, right? You're gonna get paid regardless whether you're doing work or not, right? And so for entrepreneurship, like that is literally all day, right? So if someone, like for example, when you're clocking out at your 5:30, whatever the case may be, once you're done with work is done. Versus entrepreneurship, you're literally working at any single moment that somebody needs you, that you have a new client, that you have, like if you're mentoring somebody and they need help, you're literally just going to jump in no matter what time.
Because you're your own boss.
Exactly.
You have to answer.
Exactly.
You're not relying on an administrative assistant. You're not relying on your coworkers that ask you that answer overall questions for her, right? Or you guys, whoever's an entrepreneur out there.
Yep.
You are working your own business.
Literally.
You're building your own brand.
Literally.
Ain't nobody helping you.
No, so
nobody is helping you but you.
No, literally. And it really takes like that dedication and that mindset of not having an issue with doing that as well. Because somebody may do it and they're like, yo, like, why is this person writing me at 10 o'clock at night? Why is this person like, I don't want to be on my phone? It's like me, someone's writing me like, oh my God, somebody's writing me at this time. Boom, hey, how are you? Like, and
I did it.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, it's like at end of month, like if I get a client at 11:57, I'm like, oh my God, I'm
new
like,
client.
You know what I mean? So it really also depends on that mindset as well.
So ask yourself, what mindset do you have? Right? Are you an entrepreneur? Do you have that mindset that you don't care if somebody texts you, pings you? I say ping because I'm thinking about work. Emails you, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is to build your brand. Be a new client at 11:57 p.m.
Yep.
Or are you a 9 to 5? And again, nothing wrong with that
Nothing,
because I am a 9 to 5. Although I go past the 5 p.m. Right, I'm very super dedicated to my job, but I rather not answer questions at 11:57 p.m. And it's not that I don't mind helping people because I'm all about it. Yeah. It's just my mind. I try to shut my mind off.
Which is true though, because when I was working my 9 to 5, somebody wrote me at 5:01. I'm not answering you until 9 o'clock the next morning because I'm not getting paid for this. Yeah. Right. But versus like entrepreneur, because you're building your brand, like you are like. No, you're not talking to that person. You're not getting paid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's really that different type of drive as well because. If you're working past 5 o'clock and you're a salary worker, like you reply to emails, that's great. You're not getting paid overtime. It is what it is. Somebody writes you at 7 or asks you a question. It's like, yeah, okay, great. I'll help you, but I'm here with my family. I'm not getting paid. And it's like, for example, your job. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't do your job for free.
No, absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
If you're watching, which I know you're not, but still.
But like you wouldn't do your job for free because you're, no offense, you're in it for the money. Like and we have that drive for money, and it's just like for me because it's my brand, I'm in it to build my brand. So it's more than the money. It's more than that because I'm building for that future stability.
But this can also be a debate, right?
For sure.
This can be a huge debate because you have people that are super dedicated to their 9 to 5 because they are career driven.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
And that's their career. Who you work for and what you're building to with that person brings pure happiness and joy into your life. Yep. Right.
That too.
So we can debate that, which we're not going to. I'm just saying there's different ways. We can have a poll, right? There's different ways of thinking because to me, like I mentioned earlier, I can never be an entrepreneur, and I'm never gonna say never. I'll take that back. I choose not to be. Yeah. However, I have full dedication to the position that I'm in now when it comes down to working. So I'm not really a 9 to 5 kind of person, and anyone that works with me personally or anyone that knows me personally knows I'm not clocking out at 5 o'clock. And that's just me and it's not necessarily because of my career. Yeah. It's more of my dedication. Okay. Right? Yeah. So 5:30, if I get an email, I don't mind answering that email. Yeah. Right? Because I personally choose not to close my laptop until my work is done.
For sure.
But that's my mindset. But you can take that mindset into entrepreneurship as well.
Exactly. So it's like that. Like that's your mindset. And then like for someone like me, you're probably seeing me like if we're hanging out, like when we were on our ski trip and it's like 10 o'clock and I'm over here like on my phone talking to clients. It's like for me, my mindset is like this is my dedication. My job. Exactly.
And we're cheering and building cocktails. Yeah. That was our job at the moment, right?
For sure.
Okay, so let's get into it, right? So Kimberly was working a full-time job when she gave birth to Selena. Yep. Right? Yeah. So Selena's a year old now, a little over a year. Yep. Right? So that means she worked 9 to 5 with a steady, stable income. Yep. Every 2 weeks, she got her check. Yep. She worked. Yep. Right? She decided to quit or resign, whatever word you want to call it, your full-time job to become an entrepreneur. We'll get more into her business in a bit. So what fear came behind doing that, right? Because that takes I don't want to say the word but that takes courage. Yeah. Right? I'll use a word that's cleaner.
It takes guts.
Yes, it takes courage to do something like that. And I definitely think because to me this year is stepping out of my comfort zone. So I think that made you step out of your comfort zone to say, I am quitting a steady job to become an entrepreneur that may not be steady, to then be a stay-at-home mom, to now also be pregnant. Yes. So that's a lot in one circle.
What a timeline.
It's a lot in one circle. So tell me, the fear behind doing that and the courage that it took to do that.
So to be truly honest with you, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. That is just something that I've always wanted to do. I always knew that I wanted financial freedom and time freedom. Time freedom is very big to me. Right. And I always found that no matter...
And time freedom, right? Yeah, freedom. Sorry to cut you off. Time freedom, doing what you want at any time you want, when you want. She just wants to do her, boo.
Yes.
Do you boo boo?
Literally,
right?
time freedom. Yes, you should trademark that.
Do you boo boo? Hashtag. Okay?
No, but like time freedom is very big to me.
Right.
So actually, like I said, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur regardless. And within that, it was like I was taking these stable jobs because, hello, money, rent, bills, etc. College, right?
College.
And you know, even when I was in college, like I remember meeting with my advisor, and she was like, "Okay, like, what do you want to do with like your degree? Like, what degree are you pursuing? What do you want to do?" And I'm like, to be honest, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I was like 18 years old.
Stay-at-home mom.
I was 18 years old.
Would you ladies watching us right now say that you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom? For those of you that are stay-at-home moms,
Yeah.
Did you say I would like to be a stay-at-home mom? Because I personally do not want to be a stay-at-home mom. I am super independent. Not saying that you're not. Not saying that you're not. But you can't pay me to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
I did it with the twins. For those
sure.
of you that do not know me, I was a stay-at-home mom and working a full-time job with 2 boys. The twins are now 3. So a year.
Yeah.
I stood home. Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I stood home with them. Girl.
It's crazy.
I'll take $1 million. You give me $1 million.
Yeah.
But there's no way I would do it.
And it's,
There's no way. It's so hard.
It is. It's very
so
hard. And on top of that, running a business, it's even harder, right? Because you have 2 babies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And those that are a stay-at-home mom, even if you're not an entrepreneur, but you're still working a full-time job.
Oh, that's even worse. And I'm going to tell you why that's worse. When I was working from home with my daughter, who was at the moment 6-7 months, right? And we're still getting her like on this perfect schedule. She's still a baby. Now she's like developing. She's starting to be a little bit more aware. When I had meetings and my kid was crying in the background, I had that guilt of, oh my God, they're going to be like, why did we let this woman work from home? This is exactly why we don't let people do this. She can't control her surroundings. I'm trying to listen to her. There's a baby crying in the background, this, and that. And like, you get that guilt as a worker where it's like, oh my God, like, great, they're going to take this opportunity away from me. Or they're going to be like, you know what, maybe this isn't going to work out. You know, maybe you could just stop tomorrow.
You start overthinking.
You start overthinking, right? Yeah. And then I remember...
And everybody overthinks.
Yes.
In any situation.
Yes.
I'm an overthinker.
For sure.
100%. Like, I will be up at 3 o'clock in the morning overthinking something that happened at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I try to switch my mindset. I think we all do, but it's just a part of life. It's the way your mind moves.
It's
right?
so true.
Your mind is in a circle and you can overthink the same thing. And if you're working throughout the day and you don't have a moment to think, that your mind's going to overthink that situation that you passed during the day at night.
Exactly. And it's like, I remember I was sending like apology emails at the meeting, like, I'm so sorry, this won't ever happen again, this and this and that. And then like, I was trying everything under the sun to, like, if I had to leave my kid here watching Miss Rachel and lock myself in the room and just hope that nobody can hear anything, like, it was like that. And so that, I don't know how, and I really truly commend all of you who work from home and have children at home.
Your daddies too. We got daddies that work from home too.
Literally, it is so tough.
It is hard.
And it's more guilty because it's either I feel guilty that my kid is being a kid and my job gave me the opportunity to work from home, or I feel guilty because I'm putting so much work into this and I'm not paying attention to my kid who I'm at home with.
Yes.
So
then you overthink again.
Yes.
Who you are as a mother.
Yes.
Right? Because I think that when we become parents, we have this mindset of, I'm not going to give my kid candy, and I'm not going to put my kid in front of Miss Rachel, and I'm not going to let my kid have a phone.
Yep.
But and then when it all happens, it's like, here's Miss Rachel. You want a lollipop at 5 o'clock in the morning? No problem. Here you go. Just stop crying.
Just stop crying, please. Don't whine.
Yes.
So it really is that. But for me now, as my entrepreneurial journey, I've built my brand around my daughter. So when I'm on a one-on-one call and I'm talking to people and my kid is screaming in the back, I don't feel guilty because this is my raw life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my purpose is to show that, like, you can do this around your kids. Your kid is not going to always be quiet. And that is okay because this is your business and you run it how you want to run it. Granted, sometimes I'm like, all right, like, enough is enough. This person can't hear me. But it's my brand. So I wanted to develop that where it's like, I don't want women to feel, women, men, whoever wants to do a business, to feel like they can't involve their kids, or they can't get on a meeting, or they can't strive further because their child is being a child while they're being a stay-at-home parent. Like, that's the purpose.
Right. So you would say, back to what I was asking you, your way of stepping out of your comfort zone and conquering your fear is taking a step back and realizing that you could be an entrepreneur.
Yep.
If you surround your entrepreneurship around your daughter.
Precisely. Creating your own brand.
Cool.
Right.
So that's a tip, right?
Yeah.
For all of you parents that want to be an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Right? Think about what you want to do, how you want to do it.
Yeah.
But think about those that are around you, because it doesn't necessarily have to be your kid. Yeah. It could be your spouse, your partner, whoever it is. You have to build structure around them as well. Yeah. If you want that financial freedom, but if you want that freedom within your mind. Yeah. Right? Where you're not writing emails apologizing. To your boss and your coworkers because you took a meeting with your kid in the background.
Yeah. It's literally like using that fear and building around it and thriving through it, because there are so many people going through the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mentioned this with somebody that I was discussing, and I'm very religious about this tattoo of mine, right? The presence of fear is unavoidable, but the prison of fear is optional. For sure. Right? And I'll always repeat that because that quote is amazing. Yeah. We're always going to experience some sense of fear within our life, right? You're gonna wake up in the morning, you're gonna be fearful about something. Yep. But if you let that fear hold you captive, where you are not striving in life or in anything that you want to do, you fail. Yeah. Right? Because you're letting fear overcome everything that you're capable of doing. Yeah. And you're gonna have fear. Yeah. It's a part of life.
And if you don't have fear, you're honestly not growing. Yeah. Right? And
to grow is to be fearful.
Exactly.
To step out of your fearfulness is to grow.
Yeah. And I heard this saying, and it's like, it sticks with me. And it's like, every new level is going to have a new devil. Like, yes. And it's just, and it's so true. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Yeah. You're always going to have to overcome something to get even farther, and that truly is what it is.
So I commend you, right? I commend you, anybody that's watching that has quit. I don't really like the word quit.
You can say
decided not to pursue a steady, stable 9 to 5 working for someone else to build your own brands.
For sure.
So kudos to you, right? And those that are watching, keep going, don't give up. Right? I think that I want to ask you that. I use the word think a lot. I'm going to work on that, guys, right? So I'm going to ask you this question, and I know that it's going to be a deep question. So we're going to keep it honest and we're going to keep it real, because that is the point of Moms.Conquer, for you guys to come and be vulnerable. For sure. Right? Because I've learned recently that it does not matter how long you knew somebody, ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your vulnerability comes down to your connection with that person. Okay. Right? I've known her for 18 years, right? This is my sister-in-law. I've watched her grow into the person that she is. And there may be things that she doesn't feel comfortable telling me, but then she meets someone tomorrow and it's like, oh, girl, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? Same for me, right? I could have had a discussion with you and then didn't tell you, but then I meet somebody tomorrow and I'm just like, back in my day, it all depends on your connection. So I want everyone to come here, feel connected to me, feel vulnerable enough to be expressive to our audience and those that are watching, right? Because this is an open forum. For sure. I'm not a judgmental person. I'm never going to judge you. You be your own mom and your own dad and whoever person you want to be. What works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you. So let's keep that clear. But going back to honesty, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think you would be more successful in your entrepreneurship if you did not have your child?
For sure. Honestly, no.
No.
And I'm going to say I struggled for years developing my why. Mm-hmm. Right? And I always said, for my future kids, actually my why was my mom. Right. Because I didn't have kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So my why was to give back.
What is your why?
Yeah, your why is going to be that driving factor that when things don't go right, because things are not always going to go right? The ladder to success is truly a ladder, and those steps are not simple. Like it's truly like rock climbing. Okay,
that's like when you're climbing a ladder to build a relationship with someone.
Yes, it's always going to be rocky. Right. It's always going to be like that.
You climb that ladder
to
the top,
literally.
Make them love you.
And it's gonna be hard. Like there are hard times, right? Where when you feel like you're failing, when you have imposter syndrome, right? Where you're showing up and you're like, I don't really feel like, I'm this person.
But failing is normal.
For sure. Right? And failing is great. If you don't
fail, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
There's no such thing as perfection. Failing is normal.
No.
We fail at everything.
Yeah.
I was nervous to start Moms That Conquer because I didn't want to fail.
For sure.
I didn't want to start something. I didn't want to step out of my comfort zone. I didn't want to go past my fear.
Yeah.
But here we are.
No, literally.
Right?
And it's like, if you're not failing, then you're truly not trying.
Right.
To be honest with you. And so there's always going to be moments like that, and you need a strong enough why to push you past that. Like, well, if I don't do this, then this isn't going to happen. Right? And so for me, I've always struggled with why, and I've always struggled with going past those hurdles because my why was never strong enough. And so it's like, for example, the business that I'm in right now, I quit it, right? And then I restarted it after I had my daughter.
And that's okay.
And it's perfectly fine.
You could quit a million times. It's like working out.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've quit working out? And I need to work out. This girl needs to get working. But you start again and again and again and again and again.
And you just pick up, you know what I mean?
It's
and
like
for
parenthood.
me, right?
Because we feel as a mother.
Oh, all the time.
Every day. You know how many times I say, I am not going to curse and scream today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, maybe tomorrow. Maybe that's a fail, but I'm still going to try.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it is what it is, right?
No, it's so true. And it's just like, so my why wasn't strong enough until I had my daughter, right?
Okay.
Say, like, I'm doing this because if I don't do this, then I'm going to have to put my kids in daycare. And if I put my kids in daycare, then I'm going to have to work a 9-to-5 job. And then if I work my 9-to-5 job, by the time I get home, I'm going to be too exhausted to even want to be with my kid because I have to be a wife and I have to cook, right? And I have to, but you know what I mean?
Can't
like,
let them start.
You know what I mean?
Come on.
And then it's like, okay, like, then I have to cook and then I have to clean. Then I'm exhausted. And then I'm going to be honest for you, working a 9-to-5 is miserable to me. So I'm going to be coming home with such a miserable mindset every day that it's going to impact my household. And it's like, I want to be that mom who is part of PTA. I want to be that mom who is able to pick up my kid or take the kids to soccer practice or take them to this or this and this and that. Like, I want to be that mom who will always be there when I can be there. And it's like, me not succeeding is taking that away from my kid. Right. And so having my kid has pushed me hard. I've never worked a business harder than I have worked until I became a mother.
I respect that. And those that are watching, ask yourself the same question, right? Do you think you would be successful in any business that you're in if you didn't have your children? And what is your why, right? We all have to have a why. Yeah. And this is not, your answer is not going to dictate who you are as a person or your decision, right? Because you can feel like you are super successful now that you have your child, or you can feel like
this is too
I
much.
would have been a millionaire if I didn't have all these damn kids running around.
And that was my mindset when I got pregnant. I was like, shit, like, I had all these great plans. I'm not gonna be able to accomplish this. And then I switched it to no, like, this isn't an excuse. This is the reason why I need to do this. You know. And I
don't know if I can say this, right? But I'm going to, because those of you may not be, but I am. God got you, right? Yeah. If you're not religious, that's okay. But to me, I wake up in the morning and I know that I'm gonna say a little prayer. God's gonna have my back. What I decide I want to do, what I don't want to do. God's gonna be like, girl, get up, keep it pushing, and keep going. I agree. Right? I positive energy. Well, amazing. I'm so excited to see you like become super successful in everything that you do, even with your 2 babies. Just don't have no more, girl.
3 years. I have.
Okay. So let's talk business. Yeah. Right? I want you to give our audience 3 tips to get started as an entrepreneur.
For sure.
Basic tips, right? what are your 3 basic tips that you can recommend to our people?
For sure.
To become successful and thrive, and have that mindset that would keep them going.
For sure. So number 1, like I said, is your why, right? Your why is so important. I already shedded light on this, but it truly is going to be the only thing that motivates you to get you to do absolutely anything, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Like,
That's
I
right.
promise you, like for me in the business that I'm in, like it requires social networking, right? So it requires me reaching out and meeting people. And sometimes when I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that, I think about my daughter and I'm like, is she worth not having that?
And your why doesn't have to be your kid.
No, it doesn't.
Even if you're a parent.
Oh, no.
Your why does not have to be your kid.
No.
Your why can be
Anything.
Your why can be God. Your why could be money.
Yeah.
Your why can be you.
Your why.
Why are you important?
Your why just needs to be so deep, right? And it doesn't have to be children. It could truly be what you want in life, or
Right.
it could truly be what you're lacking right now, and you're depriving yourself because you're not stepping out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? So you just need a really strong enough reason to be like, I'm gonna get this done no matter what, because if I don't do it, I won't have that.
That's right.
Right? Number two
Two
is be open to learning, right? I feel like a lot of the times we are brought up to kind of be very prideful
and
right?
defensive.
And defensive.
I'm guilty of being very defensive.
Yes.
Like, what you just said, that's
Precisely.
not the way we're gonna do things.
Exactly.
You know?
And you have to be open to learning and constructive criticism, right?
And that's so difficult.
It is.
It is so difficult.
It's truly so
difficult. Like, it's constructive criticism can be a compliment to your growth.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
It really is.
But if you're someone like me that is extremely defensive, you may take things personal,
which you don't want to.
Don't do it.
Don't.
But it's gonna take time.
It does. It takes a lot of personal development.
A lot of personal development.
Yep.
Because I'm still struggling with that. I'll be completely honest with you. And I'm not an entrepreneur. I work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But let my boss tell me something, and I'm like, boy.
Yeah.
You
get
respect.
offended.
With respect.
But it's like, don't tell me how to do my job.
But then you got those that have, and I think that with being an entrepreneur too, is the way you communicate with people.
Yeah.
Communication is key, right?
For sure.
Because there are things that my boss can tell me versus somebody else that I work with, where I'll take it like, okay, I can listen to that person because I respect them and the way they're presenting it to me makes sense.
For sure.
Because I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Make it make sense to me, and then I won't get defensive. But if you try to play me, then we're gonna go for rounds. Like,
you see,
that's the
and
way
it's
it is.
like, and when it comes to entrepreneurship, honestly, thriving is having a mentor, right, and them teaching you how to do things in a way that you're learning from their mistakes. So it takes you a little bit faster because you don't have to make those same mistakes. And so being open to learning, to remove that pridefulness, to be open to constructive criticism, knowing that it is really truly meant for your benefit and your best, outlook, that is truly important, right? Because especially with entrepreneurship, it's such a different life. Right? And we don't know the ways because this is something new that we're trying, but somebody else who already paved that way knows those hurdles that can help you. So definitely being open to learning, right? And to be truly honest with you, stepping out of your comfort zone is a bigger
3
one. Honestly, doing the do when you're scared, right? And I say this all the time, you cannot get things you don't have by not doing things you don't do. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
Step out.
You can't, and it's so funny.
But step out with confidence.
Yes,
right?
But it's so funny because there's this thing, right? And it's like doing the same thing consistently and expecting a different outcome is delusion.
Yeah.
Right?
It is, but
no.
Consistency is key, man.
No, consistency is key.
Be consistent.
But if you can't step out of your comfort zone, so for example, being fearful, right? And you're like, okay, someone says do it like this, and then you start doing it like this, but you've been doing it like this for a very, very long time, and you've never gotten over here, and somebody's like, hey, just do it like this, and you're like, I'm too scared, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to keep doing it like this. Right. And expecting to get there, that's delusion, right?
When I say consistent with your mindset on what you're going to do.
Oh,
you're
for
going to
sure.
do it, keep doing it, keep being consistent.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to build relationship with people, keep that relationship consistent. Okay, so let's go back into our topic. Let's get a little bit deeper, right? She's an entrepreneur, so she obviously has business, whatever you want to call it. So tell us a little bit about your branding, right? Because that's what it's, you're branding yourself.
Yeah.
And about your business, right? So I know that you are known as Content Kim to me. You also have your Monet business where you are a mentor, right? To those that you have relationships with within that business.
For sure.
So give our audience a little insight of who you are, what you got going on, because it's a lot.
For sure. So one of my main businesses that I work as a kind of full-time job is Money, like you just said. And Money, it's basically a beauty brand that I'm partnered with, and we basically carry skincare, hair care, we carry wellness, but I mainly just talk about skincare and hair care. And I am basically the person who kind of just helps anyone reach any hair skin goals that they may have, right?
Goals,
and
right.
Yeah,
for any kind of hair.
any kind of hair. It truly is for absolutely anyone and everyone, because the questions that we ask and the products that we recommend are based on everyone's individual scalp, hair type, what's this called, hair length, hair texture, etc. So it truly is individualistic towards the person. The same thing when it comes to skincare, right? People who are acne prone, people who have dry skin, normal to combo, whatever the case may be, it's personalized for that, which is great. So that's what I do, partial of it. And like you said, I also mentor other women to basically be able to do this from their phones as well. And so that's Money. And then through Money, I developed a passion for content and kind of just creating, you know, my portfolio and my profile to look a certain way that now I freelance doing content for other businesses and other ventures such as Moms That Conquer, and basically help in creating content, whether it's like information, whether it's recording, whether it's editing, whether it's creating captions, reels, etc. So those are kind of the businesses that I'm dabbling in at this specific moment and kind of just perfecting.
So along with your why, figure out what it is that you want to do.
Yeah, right? There's that. You gotta be passionate.
Listen, you can have 1,000,001 ideas, but it's up to you to put it all together. So your 3 tips, right? Find your why.
Be comfortable.
With learning new things. Be open-minded, right? Step out of your comfort zone.
For sure. And there's actually a 4th one that I wanted to talk about.
Okay, so you're 4.
Yeah, 4.
Write it down, people. Get your pen, paper.
Literally. And it's honestly just working your business in the pockets of time that you have throughout your day, right?
Time is important.
Yeah. And it's just like, you know, a lot of the times we always say like, okay, like I don't have time for this, or I don't think I'd have time for it, but it's something that I want to do.
If it's something that's really important to you, you're going to find time.
That's true too.
You're going to find time.
And it's like a lot of the times, like we find ourselves scrolling through social media an hour or 2 a day, right?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There isn't, right? There's breaks that, you know, you want to take, but it's like if you're going to scroll, like why not monetize your social media? You know what I mean? So, or like there's moments where like you can kick back and watch a movie for 2 hours, and it's like you can truly just be utilizing pockets of time that you have open to work your business and like be successful. Honestly, it really takes, you could do like 30 minutes every 2 hours and you can get so much done in those 30 minutes versus just, you know, just laying back and sitting back, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Granted, we all have different responsibilities, but there are going to be moments of pockets of time that you're going to realize go like that. And it's like, wow, I could have really used this time a little bit better.
Right. So those of you that are in the process of becoming an entrepreneur, have that mindset. Go get a paper and a pen right now, or grab your phone.
Yes.
Grab your phone, right? Because I know you probably have it in your hand while you're watching us. And write these 4 tips down, and we're going to repeat it one more time. So, so we're going to find our why. Right? We're going to be open-minded. For learning new things. Right? We're going to step out of our comfort zone.
For sure.
And we're going to take advantage of every time pocket we have throughout the day.
Precisely.
Right? And you are going to be fearful in everything that you want to do when it comes down to being a person, a man, a woman, a child, whoever's watching. You are going to be fearful. And she's a perfect example of someone that stepped out of their comfort zone and conquered their fear of quitting a steady job to build something that's more beneficial for her and her kid. Right? So if she can do it, you can do it. Everyone can do it.
For sure.
Right? It's all about this. Put this to use. Thank you for joining, guys. This is Moms That Conquer with Julie Rodriguez and our guest Kimberly for all hair products, facial, skincare, whatever it is, Monet wise, this is your girl. If you guys have any content you need for anything, hit her up. We will tag her at below. And feel free to like, comment, share. And if you guys really enjoy these tips and make use of them, let us know below.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Bye.